From cookies to cakes and pies, you can't have dessert without some sugar, right?
I don't know. I think that might be wrong. Registered dietitian Mary Ellen Phipps is dishing out low sugar recipes in her brand new book, The Easy Diabetes Desserts Cookbook. It is a beautiful book with all kinds of great recipes, and Mary Ellen is here now with 5 ways to cut back on the sugar. Mary Ellen, it's been so great having you on the show over the years. You've been very public about your story with type 1 diabetes, and because of that, you have developed this whole new system, a way to eat for anyone who wants to cut back sugar.
Right, because I think growing up, like I was, you're kind of told you have to eat this, this, and this, but in reality, we now know so much about nutrition and about our bodies that we can still have delicious food and balance our blood sugars.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
And it smells so good. So what did you bring for us today?
Yeah, so when we're thinking about desserts specifically and making them more blood sugar friendly, there's really 5 ways that I say that we can accomplish this. And the first one is the most obvious one. We can cut back on the sugar. So we've got 2 examples of that here that are both in the book. Some lemon squares that really all we did is just cut back on the sugar, and little cinnamon coffee cake bars over here. The lemon bars, I probably shouldn't play favorites, but that's probably my favorite recipe in the whole book.
They are so good.
Yeah.
And is it as simple as just cutting back on the sugar? Like, what will people find in your recipes?
Right, so cutting back on the sugar is one thing, and then the second thing, which is probably the thing I do most often, both in the book and on my blog on Milk and Honey Nutrition, is playing up with the flours. So instead of using like all-purpose flour, what I like to do is take some sort of nut-based flour. So this is almond flour, but you could do coconut flour or other things, and oats, and we grind them into a flour that's got more fiber, more protein, more fat, and less carbohydrate. And so if you don't want to mess with the sugar, if you want something to be really sweet, we can do this way instead. And so we've got like some pecan praline cookies here that we used this combination of almond flour and oats, and little praline pecans there. And then who doesn't love a funfetti birthday cake, right?
It's so cute.
Yeah, because you can have your cake and eat it too. So what we've done here, the whole like naked cake, naked iced thing is very trendy right now. I feel like it has been for a few years. So we made a glaze here. So I thought I'd let you guys try this out.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
We've got a funfetti cake that really the only change I made is using the almond flour and the oats.
Here.
Okay. And you can take the glaze there, and it's kind of fun to just like pour
Go
it
for it.
out.
Lisa, come on, you can do this.
Go for it. You can do it.
I don't know if I want to.
So here, pick the whole thing up.
Okay.
I'll help you out. You can
Thank
scoop.
you.
And we'll just scoop it on.
It's going to come out.
And
Okay,
then we'll
perfect.
just spread it on, and you get kind of like a naked ice feeling going on, and you've got a really fun birthday cake.
Naked ice. Where have I been? I didn't realize naked cake was a thing.
Where it's just kind of that brush of icing, if you will.
Oh.
When I started at H-E-B, I wasn't from the grocery business, so I went and worked in every department in H-E-B, and I went to baking school.
Okay,
and
how
cake
did that go?
decorating. Well, you can see how well I'm doing.
It looks great.
They never put me in the.
Our photographer for the book made it look so perfect. But we've got some candles there. You can stick them in. The perfect birthday celebration. You don't have to skimp on that when it comes to.
Yeah,
little
you better
extra
make it pretty.
sprinkles on top.
So the idea here then, Mary Ellen, is instead of coating the entire cake with a frosting, you're just using less of it.
Right. It can still be fun. It can still be delicious. We're just going to cut back a little bit.
Yeah. Good job. Here, do you want to put those in?
The next thing, and this is, hear me out here, but I've brought desserts before, and I know it kind of weirds you out sometimes, Derek, but we're going to put beans in our desserts.
No, Mary Ellen. Ew. Okay,
We
sorry.
trust her. Look how good this stuff is.
Hey, you've had some of them and you loved them, but we take cooked beans, so canned beans. You rinse them off, you mash them up. When you mash them up with flour, so like our combination here, you get a texture very similar to cookie dough. So I have 2 recipes here. We've got orange zest sugar cookies, and then some like edible eggless chocolate chip pecan cookie dough. And so this recipe, what I love about it is, I've got some scoops here if you guys want to try it, but you just scoop it and eat it like you would ice cream.
Oh, I want to try
my
it for
gosh.
sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
We
We got some cups, take a scoop and have at it.
Wait, and these are like just white beans and garbanzo beans?
So that recipe is white beans mashed up, obviously with a ton of flavorings. We've got pecans and dates and chocolate chips and a little bit of maple syrup in there, stuff like that.
What's the ratio? Like how many beans
God.
are we talking? Good?
Delish. And it tastes so sweet. It's amazing.
What are you thinking?
I think it's good. Are there any, like, after you eat it after a while, would your tummy feel a little
I mean,
gassy?
not only there's one can.
Thank you for that question.
I'm wondering.
There's 1 can of beans in the entire recipe, so I think you're good. I think you're good. But it just adds that protein and fiber component that some desserts might be lacking. And so it's a good way to get that in. There's a whole lot of other intrinsic values, nutritional values to beans that we're really looking to capitalize on.
It's a really good texture.
It is a good texture. I am surprised. I would never think of putting beans in cookies. I'm sold.
Okay, and so then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna think about our fat source. So we know people with diabetes should watch the amount of saturated fat they eat. We've known that for decades. So we can use other fat sources like nut butters and avocado oil and things like that. So we've got a low-carb pumpkin bread here that we're actually using almond butter as our fat source. And then we've got some, have you ever had a Monster cookie bar, M&M's, chocolate chips, peanut butter? We're relying on the peanut butter here for these. My kids threatened me if I didn't come home with any of those that we would have problems.
I have to take just a little bite of this one.
Go for it. They're delicious.
And
They're
how
like
are
a dense, fluffy.
So it doesn't look like a little bite to me.
Sorry, that is a larger bite. So if it calls for oil, then how do you know if you're going to substitute one of the nut butters for another fat source?
In this sense, we're using it instead of butter.
Instead of butter entirely?
Butter. Yes. So you get the same texture. The fat is still doing the same job.
That is really good. I'm sorry, I should not. People might wonder, you can't put the M&Ms on, or you can. I mean, clearly you have them here.
So what we did here is there's a small amount of chocolate chips throughout, and then we just put the M&Ms on top. You get the fun, you get the flavor, but we don't have to pack a ton in there throughout the whole loaf, if you will.
Okay, last tip.
Okay,
you have
last
yogurt
tip.
over here.
We're gonna go for the yogurt. So I have a couple single serve recipes in there. I know people love single serve dessert recipes. So one of them is like a microwave coffee cake in a mug. And so we're using the Greek yogurt in here to get some protein in there, maybe get a little bit of fat depending on what type of yogurt you're using, but it really helps up that protein content. So this is just a little coffee cake in a mug.
It's so cute.
You can whip it up in about less than 5 minutes. And then we have some key lime cupcakes. And so this is a base of Greek yogurt and coconut flour. So you'll notice the texture is a little bit different, but the flavor we get between the lime zest, we're adding the protein and the icing. It's basically like a higher protein icing, if you will.
Okay,
Looks awesome.
It looks good. And Lisa, maybe your fiance Lee, you two can enjoy some key lime cakes. Listen, the new cookbook, the Easy Diabetes Desserts Cookbook, it comes out next week, June 7th. Congratulations. It's a beautiful book.
much.
And I can tell you, the beans and the cookies, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's
a
good.
delicious thing.
Mary Ellen, thank you so much for stopping by. That was great.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
lunch.
me.
And by the way, these are just some of the recipes and tips you can find in Mary Ellen's brand new cookbook. And good news, we're giving away 3 copies to 3 lucky KPRC2 insiders. If you'd like to sign up, you can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv. I still want to have one of everything on this table.